What on earth is going on with the hiring market right now? My name's Joel Algie. I've been in recruiting for coming up to a decade. You can go verify me on LinkedIn, where I've got 170,000 followers, and I've got also 140,000 followers over here. I also run a podcast where I get to interview talent leaders in different industries and different spaces. You can access the podcast through the link on my linktree. There are so many people on the job market right now, it seems, and we're hearing about layoffs every single day. But is it really that hard to find a job? Well, right now it is. But the good news is that we're just in a slow time of the year. Historically, January and February are slower times within the recruitment industry. The exception being the last 2 years, one being the recovery market from COVID, and the other one just being the strange market that we saw last year, where we saw record investment in startups, which drove a lot of hiring in industries like tech. Traditionally, January and February are pretty slow months, and then if you couple that with the couple months before it, which were November and December, they are also traditionally slow months. This added with the layoff news that we're hearing about all the time, thousands of people being laid off from really, really big, stable companies, it's creating a perception of the employer market. Now, the employer market is basically where employers feel that they have enough candidates and they're really calling the shots. So we're starting to see this with a lot more hybrid positions being open as opposed to fully remote. And then we're also seeing this with lower salaries being offered. The idea that companies have is there's a lot of people on the market, which means that they have the upper hand when it comes to things like negotiating where people work from, salaries, etc. Now, the good news for everybody is I believe once the headline news change from really, really big layoffs all the time, once we have a month not hearing anything about layoffs, and economists start predicting a bright future for 2024, we will start to see the pendulum shift again, which basically means that companies will start wanting to hire and basically publicly saying, hey, we're looking to bring on more people. Most of the hiring leaders that I talk to are planning to grow in 2023, but I believe it's just taking a little bit more to get started with all of the negative news around layoffs. A lot of companies are wondering whether or not we're going to see a downturn and a recession, and they're just unsure about bringing more people onto the team. Once this shifts happen, we'll start seeing things happen in a positive way. For example, there'll be more remote jobs on the market because the companies will see that as a way to compete to get top talent. We'll start seeing salaries go up as well. What we're seeing right now isn't going to last, and it is temporary. But if you've been laid off or you've been looking for a job, you know how hard it is. The best advice I have right now is to potentially look at starting a side hustle or another way to get income, and then continuing to network as well as doing all of your other usual job activity like applying for jobs and etc. Most importantly though, stay positive.